For today's video, we are going to be doing multiplication strategies. I am going to try to explain this video is more for your families and your parents who I know were taught like me with this old school multiplication strategy. And I know I get questions all the time. Why do we do this math? Well, one, we're going to talk a lot about place value in this. And two, we're going to make the connections because over here, your family probably has a multiplication strategy that they're not even certain why it works, but it does. So in our new strategy, the first thing that we need to understand is these numbers can be broken down into teams. What would this team be? If we see 347, what team do we really have? Malik?
300 plus 40 plus 7.
300 plus 40 plus a 7 is a team. That's what 347 is worth. What would our 86 be then as a team? Henry?
80 plus 6.
80 plus 6. Now with this understanding, our new school method is more like a boxing strategy. We're going to set up a boxing ring, and we're going to try to make this as entertaining as possible with 300 plus 40 plus 7. Here we go. We have our box set up. Over on this side, we are going to write 80 plus 6. Now with this, anytime we see an addition symbol, we're going to break this down into a different segment. So if we look here, what are our two numbers that we're actually going to multiply in this ring or in this corner? Sam? 80 times 300. Now what I like to try to do is get your students energized with their multiplication. So we're going to pretend like we're calling a wrestling match. So we're going to say, in this corner, weighing at 300 pounds, we have the number 300 taking on 80. So we have 80 and 300. We're pretending that they're wrestling, but really we're just multiplying. 3 times 8 is the only math fact I need to know. Because every time you see zeros, that just means you're multiplying by 10. So 3 times 8, 24. But then, how many zeros do we have to place? Davion? 3, because we see 1, 2, 3 zeros, and every time we place a 0, what is that really multiplying by?
10!
Perfect. Every time you multiply by 10, it's just placing a 0. So 300 times 80, 24,000. 40 times 80 is our next multiplication. 40 takes on 80. 4 times 8, 32. But then again, how many zeros? 2. 1, 2. Placing 2 zeros. 3,200. 7 times 80. 7 times 8. The only math fact I need to know.
56.
Bingo, 56. But really, 7 times 80 then is 560. Yes, this seems like a lot of work, but the faster you get at your multiplication facts, the easier it really is. Then, finally, 80 is wrestled. Everybody over here, 6 comes into the ring. 6 times 3, 18. Place 1, 2 zeros. 4 times 6, 24, but it's really 40, so it's 240. 7 times 6, 42. Just like this strategy where you're going to have to add, we're going to set this up and we're going to add all of these numbers now. So I'm going to do that over here and then I'll erase it. But we have 24,000 plus 3,200 plus 1,800. And I'm kind of just going least to great or greatest to least. 560. One of the big things with this strategy, make sure everything's lined up in your ones place. 240 and 42. While we add these, we get 2 in our ones, 10, 14 tens, which is 140, 8, 10, 11, 11 plus 7 is 18, 7, 8, 9, and 2. So we get an answer or a product of 29,842. Now I'm going to show you how we get the same product and how it relates to the numbers over here. So I'm going to actually have to just erase all of this and talk about the old school method. Now for my students, try to understand this, but if it's starting to really confuse you, feel free to turn your brain off for now, because I want you to make sure you have at least one strategy nailed that you understand. So this strategy here, what your family and I was taught is you start with the 6. Well, 6 times 7 is 42. But I would only write the 2 here, and then I'd write the 4 up here. Well, not really understanding that 42 is 4 tens. Well, over here, I still got 42, but then we do 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 tens. 24 plus 4 is 28. I would write the 8, carry the 2. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20, and you get 2,082 for your first row. Well, if we look over here, we're doing the same thing in our boxing strategy because we get 2,082 broken down into 3 parts. And that's really what we're doing. We did 6 times 7, 6 times 40, 6 times 300, which is exactly what this strategy is doing. 1,800, 240, 42 actually adds up to a sum of 2,082. Makes sense. Now here's where it gets tricky, because as a student, I was taught you just move over a place value. But that didn't make sense to me. Why would we just move over a place value? Can somebody in our class tell me, why would we have to just move over to this place now and start? What are we really multiplying by here? Aslan?
We're multiplying by the tens place.
We're multiplying now by the tens place. So really, I have to place a 0 here, not just move over, because it's really 80 times 7. So 8 times 7 is 56. Write the 5 up here. 8 times 4 is 32. Add 5, 37. I'd write the 7, carry the 3. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 3 is 27. Now, this is less work, but it's really hard and confusing to understand. What do we do with these extras and why are they there? Well, it's because we did 8 times 4 is really 80 times 40. And 80 times 40 was 3,200. And now that we get this product, we can see this number, this answer, 27,760, kind of hard to see, let me rewrite that. 27,760 is found right here. This is the same thing if we add those up. So now we can add these. You get 2, 14, 8, 9, 2, 29,842. It is still going to be the same product, but we've broken this down so students can understand place value. And that's the reason our strategy works just as well as this one. Stop it.